This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. It's important for senior citizens to correct their hearing. And this morning we have Becky Crow, a hearing aid technician at Complete Family Medicine, to break it all down for us. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So at Complete Family Medicine, you guys are now offering hearing aid tests. So first of all, why is it important to correct our hearing for more than just the obvious reasons?
Right. Well, it's just important. As we know, as we get older, it's a gradual loss that happens. We've actually found out that 1 in 3 people between the ages of 65 and 74 have age-related hearing loss.
And so what causes them to lose their hearing? Like, I know that some people, because they listen to loud music and TV and stuff, but there's other reasons for people to lose their hearing.
Yeah, there's several reasons. One of the main age-related hearing loss factors is, it's actually called presbycusis. That's just the typical age-related hearing loss. Then there's also factors like bacterial or viral infections or other health conditions that can cause it. And then there's also loud-induced hearing loss, like you were saying, with people that work in loud environments, such as truckers, farmers, musicians, a lot of jobs like that where you're exposed to loud noises for a long extended period of time will cause effects to your hearing as well.
All right, and we also always just assume that age has to do with hearing loss, but that's not necessarily the case. But at what age should we start considering, you know, I know that going through school when I was younger that we'd have to do the hearing test where we heard the beeps and then we'd have to raise our hand, which side. I mean, is that similar to what we are doing nowadays with the hearing tests?
No, what we do is we wear earmuffs to put over their ears, and they hear beeps, and they actually just push a button, but we can also just raise your hand too. It's a pretty simple thing. It only takes about 7 minutes to do the hearing test itself. It's recommended anybody over the age of 50 because of the normal age-related hearing loss. But anybody that is having a hard time hearing, we encourage them to come in and have their hearing tested as well. Anybody that is noticing difficulty with just hearing family members, having communication with other people, or watching the TV seems to be a big thing that I notice. People will say, I can't hear the TV, and their spouses, are saying, well, I can hear it, but they're having to turn it up loud. So, anybody that's noticing that they're having a hard time hearing, safety is a big factor as well. Just not hearing your alarms on your phones or traffic. Obviously, if you're out traveling, that's a big thing. A lot of times people don't realize that it's a big safety factor as well.
Also, I hear that sometimes when you can't hear yourself talk, you're speaking louder. That's another sign that you may be having loss of hearing, right?
Yes, because we hear ourselves in our own head talking, but you don't hear yourself as well, so you're talking louder, and then people that you're communicating with are like shouting at you and having to talk louder too. A lot of people that will come in will say that, the people they're communicating with are having to talk louder, and they're not realizing that it's actually because they're hearing. When you're communicating with somebody, it is hard to understand that by talking louder, that doesn't always help. There's a lot of things like certain letters that as our hearing decreases, it's the loud frequencies that we're not hearing. So it's usually like women's voices, or like I said, the TV. There's a lot of certain letters that you don't hear in words, so you're having to start learning to read people's lips in order to understand and communicate with them. And so that's a big sign that people start to realize, is that if people turn their faces or somebody's behind them talking, they can't hear anymore.
What are those letters that we should look out for?
Like an F, an S, the T. It depends on where the hearing loss is. It starts to get into even more letters.
Right, they start just combine each other and sound like, I know over the phone, every time we say S, we have to say S for Sam or F for Frank, just to kind of clarify it. But in person, if you're talking to somebody and they're getting those two mixed up, then obviously that's an issue.
Yeah, so they're having to put words together to figure out what they're saying.
What are some other ways that we could protect ourselves from loss of hearing? Not just, obviously, earplugs obviously is a good idea, but what are some other ways that we could protect ourselves?
Well, that's a big thing that I tell people when they come in, even if we see that they have a hearing loss. Just to remind them of safety, going out, wearing the earplugs, wearing the earmuffs. A lot of times, anything that's a loud enough noise that you're having to shout with someone means that it's too loud. It can be damaging your ears. And so, you know, the earplugs and stuff are a big thing, but we also tell people that it would be good just to think about
like other ways. It's okay.
It's okay.
But what you're saying, the most part, is just the earmuffs and everything like that. And then, of course, if you do have any problems or anything like that, to get a test done. And you said it takes less than 7 minutes. It's really easy. It's not painful. They're not, you know, pricking you with any needles or anything. It literally is a hearing test.
Right, yeah.
So, and those are available at Complete Family Medicine, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com, and we'll link up Complete Family Medicine's information as well in case you have any other questions. And of course, Becky will be available to answer any questions. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.